Today is the 31st of December, the last day of the year 2020. And the entire world is super excited to leave behind the year 2020 and to welcome the year 2021 for better news, for the end of the pandemic, for a better system of social justice. Everybody has their own plan. And I have to say that lehavdil elef havdalot, we, the Jews, are also finishing this week something. The first book of Bereishit. This week's Parashat is Parashat Vaye'hi, the last of the book of the Bereishit, the book that symbolizes the life of our Avot, of the Jewish roots. And I want to show you that there is here a tremendous lesson that we have to learn from this week's parasha. You know, the name of the parasha itself, Vaye'hi, which means he lived, actually, ironically, is about the death of Yaakov. Even though we talk about, in the first pasuk, the life of Yaakov, Vaye'hi Yaakov be'eret Misraim sheva esrei shana, this is actually the time that he is going to leave this world and to join Abraham and Yitzchak in Gan Eden. Just like the parasha of Hayei Sarah, which related to the life of Sarah through her death. But in this week's parasha, there is something much bigger, something much stronger. Yaakov Avinu knows that he will die. Hine avicha hole, says the pasuk. Yaakov Avinu knew that the days were close, unlike Sarah Imenu. And he took the time to do the necessary preparations before his departure. He first called Yosef. He made him swear, Al natik bereni b'Mitzrayim, make sure that you will bury me in Eretz Israel. He then blessed the children of Yosef. And there was a very, very strong underlying lesson when he switched the hand between Ephraim and Menashe about the chinuch. And then he goes on to bless every single of his children. The Shivtei Yah, the Kedoshei Elyon, the holy sons of Yaakov Avinu, which will become the founders of Am Yisrael. And he will tell each and every one of them of their qualities and, of course, of their lacks. Starting with Reuven, where things are not going so well, and then Shimon and Levi, same thing happens, Yehuda, and it goes on and on and on. This entire parasha almost reflects about how Yaakov Avinu prepared himself to die. This is what Parashat Vaye'hi is. And my friends, this is the definition of life. Life means, how am I going to prepare myself for my death? I know it sounds dramatic. I know that no one wants to talk about death. They tell us, enjoy life, make the best of life. But I want to remind you what Chachamim teach us in Pirkei Avot. Shuv yom echad lifnei mitatcha. Do teshuvah one day before your death. What does that mean? You should do teshuvah every day. You should not wait until the last day of your life to do teshuvah. And the answer to that is, well, that's exactly the point. You don't know when you're going to die, which means that today should be just like the last day of your life. And therefore, make the best of it. Make sure that today will be lived just like the last day of your life. And I believe that there is also an American English expression. Live today as if it was the end of your life, the last day of your life. And that is what the parasha of Vaye'hi tells us. Vaye'hi, the way to live as a Jew is just like Yaakov Avinu, the Bechira Avot, the one named Israel, just like every one of us. How do we live our life? Are we having a plan? Is there a direction? And most importantly, do we live it the fullest, without any regret, without any debris? Make sure that we have a meaningful life. And you know, as I was thinking about this, there is such a difference between when we talk about the end of the year 2020 or the end of anything that is secular, and the concept of end according to the Torah. Because in fact, the last day can be the best day. We are not looking for January 1st, 2021 and forget about December 31st. Opposite. December 31st should be the best day of the year 2020. Just like the Parashat of Vaye'hi that symbolizes life in its quality, in its best. And we are right now in some type of a crossroads, because we can escape the year 2020. We can convince ourselves that this is time to just move on and forget about what happened this year, or we could do the opposite. We could actually reflect on all the events that have happened in this year, how our lives have been affected, how we got closer to our family, how we realize that technology can be used for Torah, mitzvot, tefillah, and so many other things to make us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I propose to not look forward so fast to January 1st, even if it's tomorrow, but instead to take the time to think really about what this year has taught us, of how to live a better life, of how to really think this through. As a teacher, as a rabbi, as a parent, as a husband, as so many things that we are given, we realize that this year was a year of transition where we were able to show that we could be extraordinary. To also witness people that stood up and make the worst of this pandemic as a year of growth, as a year of chesed, as a year of closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as a year of more gemilut hasadim, as a year of more Torah, of more tefillah. This is what the legacy of Yaakov Avinu is. Vaye'hi Yaakov be'eret Mitzrayim. This is the definition of true life. And this is how we should live also as Jews. I want to wish you all an amazing Shabbat, a happy new year, but most importantly, an amazing Shabbat Shalom as we look at Parashat Vaye'hi, Hazak Hazak v'nitchazek, as we are finishing the book of Bereshit. And now it is the time for us, the children, to step up. Shabbat Shalom V'rach.